Hello, I'm Ishani and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'd absolutely love you to subscribe. I share creative ideas, fun techniques and clever ways to use your stash so you can make the most of the crafting supplies you already have. And I'm so glad you stopped for the Altenew Educator Something Blue video hop. Not only is this hop packed with inspiration, but there's also an amazing giveaway. You have a chance to win gift certificates worth $120 in prizes. For today's project, I'll be sharing some beautiful and creative die cutting hacks that will make your old dies feel new again. So pull out those forgotten favorites from your stash and let's give them a fresh look together. Oh my, this is the die I'm using today. Absolutely beautiful. I love working with positive dies and this one is extra special. It's the zero waste 3D floral cover die, which means you not only get all these gorgeous die cut elements, but you're also left with a stunning background piece that you're definitely going to put to good use. I have shared some of my cards on Instagram where I've used the negative of my die cut and it is just stunning. And we are not stopping just there. I'll also be bringing some beautiful butterflies from the Swallotail butterfly die set to complete today's card design. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll begin by creating our background first. I take the zero waste 3D floral die and I'm going to dry emboss with this die. Now this is a technique which makes you stretch your supplies more. It's not just die cutting. We're going to have a beautiful background. I will take this silicone mat and I am going to put my cardstock and the die face down and let it get through my die cutting machine. Now I get this beautiful texture on my white cardstock. It's like white on white, perfect texture. And to get the best out of my supplies, my scraps, I take a blue cardstock and I don't want these big flowers. I just want the small flowers, more of the small flowers. So selectively I'm going to add cardstock underneath this area of my die and cut it through. And this similarly I'm going to die cut with my white cardstock as well. So now I have my blue die cuts and my white die cuts and you can assemble them as you like. I also have some gold flowers from a previous project and what I do is I usually keep them safe in a cling wrap and so now I've taken out some of the pieces and now let's go ahead and do some ink blending on our flowers to give more dimension to these little die cuts. So I take out something blue and I'm going to use this Blue Mountain fresh dye inks and I've taken Alpine Aster and Crystal Violet to color this sky blue cardstock flowers. I take this micro blending brush and I'm going to start with Alpine Aster, which is the lighter of my blues that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to bring in the Crystal Violet just to deepen the centers and the edges. So I first go with the lighter ink in the center and the edges and then bring in my Crystal Violet and do the same just to increase the depth and the contrast of the tips and the center so that the petals have the highlighted portions which look like it is a little curved up. I do the same for all my blue flowers, a little Alpine Aster in the center and a bit at the tips of my petals and then increasing the intensity by coming in with Crystal Violet. You can add the similar blues for your white flowers as well, but I'm going to keep my whites just white because I want a contrast of blues and whites on my design. Then to give my flowers a little dimension, with the back of a paintbrush, I'm just curling my petals, some petals up, some petals down. And then you actually have beautiful tools at Altenew to create more dimension on your flowers. But I am going to use this detail blending brush, the back side of it. It's a little curved and I'm going to press it in the center of my flowers to create some more dimension. And after you have the dimensions done on your flowers, you can actually even stack these florals up because they're made in a way that you can put two or three of them together. But I'm just going to keep all my flowers as just one layer of flower and add the golden die cuts as the center of my blue flowers and also for my white flowers. It's time to die cut our swallowtail butterfly and I'm going to use this big one with both the wings. And there is a layering guide behind it. You can check that out for all the butterflies. Maybe the orientation of your card is a little different. I love these butterflies. They're so easy to put together, and you can just die cut it in the color of your butterfly and assemble it to create. I'm going to die cut the first layer of my butterfly with a white colored cardstock, the second layer with the black cardstock, and I'm going to use blue cardstock for my little pieces, the third and fourth. But actually, though I'm showing you here that I'm going to use the dark blue for the lower part of the butterfly, I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to have 3 die cut pieces, and I'm going to layer them together. Now you can mix both of them or like assemble it all together. Actually, the dark blue die cut that I have, if I add it underneath the black die cut, it is just looking too much. I mean, I think it's cleaner that way. And so just 2 detailed pieces and 1 white colored, which I'm going to add some more blue to it, and I'm going to use deep blue seas. And I've taken out sea breeze, turquoise and tide blue for coloring my butterfly. And I'm also going to add the crystal violet, which we have added for our flowers. Let's start with, I start with blending sea breeze in the center of the butterfly, and then just as how my gradient of the colors is increasing, I'm going to add turquoise after it, and then tide blue, just to keep deepening as we go further outside of our butterfly's wings on both the sides. So after I add the tide blue as my third layer, you have to keep coming back, and just for a perfect blend you have to mix your colors so that they look seamless together. So I'm getting sea breeze and then bring it above my tide blue again. And then for the extreme ends of my butterfly, I start with Alpine Aster because it is a little lighter ink, and this is the one which we used for our center of the flowers as well. And then we darken our Alpine Aster with Crystal Violet just at the edges of the wings of the butterfly. And then we try to get a seamless blend. And I really love the gradation of the colors and how beautiful the ombre of the blues look. So here's my something blue for the butterfly as well. And now after my ink blending is lovely and I love the colors that I've achieved, I take a black marker and I go on to those antennas of our butterfly to darken it. And then it's time to assemble our butterfly. I add the dark blue upper portion of the butterfly die cut onto my black colored cardstock. And to assemble the butterfly, I first just bring 2 wings, both the sides of the wings together, so that my butterfly is not laying straight on the paper. There is a little dimension. And then I add my black die cut over my beautiful blue butterfly. And these wings also I have tilted them up. And after I have this butterfly ready, now it's time to add a beautiful blue and white die cut flowers. I'm sure you've seen this image on wallpapers, and I think I've always loved this design of having flowers on the side of the one of the sides of the butterflies. And you know, I mean, this is something that you keep looking at, but it never occurs that we can do it with our own supplies. So I go ahead and adhere on only one side of my butterfly these beautiful flowers that I have die cut earlier. And then just to add a little more bling, I bring in those previously die cut leaves from the gold mirror cardstock, and I add the leaves here and there to fill up these places and also make it more fuller. I'm going to let it dry, and then it's time to assemble our card. I have taken the same color cardstock that I have used for my flowers, and that is going to be my top folding A2 base. And on that I'm going to adhere this beautiful dry embossed background that we have made earlier, and I add it with strong glue tape, and then try to ensure that my butterfly is straight. I'm going to adhere my butterfly just from the body, which is like inside it, and not adhere all my butterfly wings as well. And for the sentiment, I have this Hello Beautiful that I stamp with the black ink on a white color cardstock. Also around my butterfly, just underneath its wings, I'm going to add 2 flowers, and this will make my floral setup like a continuity. So I have gold small flowers on top and the bottom tucked underneath the butterfly wings. I add the sentiment with foam tape, and to add a little more bling, I am going to use the Shimmering Pool Stella sequins and just add a little bling, like when the butterfly is flying, it is leaving some glitter down on the earth. So like this is a girl can plan all this. Add some shimmery sequins on the top and the right bottom, and here I have my beautiful card, something blue, something gorgeous, something that you already have in your stash, but you just did not think of using both of these together. I love the way we've got the dimension on it. The butterfly wings are floating. There's a lot of beautiful texture in the background, and nobody will know how you made it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you'll check out the next person in this hop. Also, if you'd like to join my free card making workshops as Altenew educator, check out the pinned comment and register for the next workshop. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really had a great time creating this card. I hope you'll give it a try. Thank you for subscribing and liking this video. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.